Hello, beautiful people, my babies. I love all of you out there. I love you, Denise Ramon, and I love you, my boy Eric, who is on the other side. Thank you for
Yeah.
joining this YouTube and watching us and subscribing and hitting the like button, please. Now, Denise Ramon, I want her to tell a little bit about what she does. She's a master of all trades, but we're going to put her information in the description box and it will also appear on the screen. So, Denise, tell us all you have to offer as a light worker for this beleaguered world.
Okay. Well, of course, I'm a psychic medium and I communicate with people on the other side, but I also communicate with your team and my team, um, working through things that don't pertain to people per se, loved ones on the other side, helping you to find healing within you. I do have a sense. I'm not a doctor, but I do get a sense of what some of the situations that are going on with you, what are causing the problems within you. And
Sort of like a
um,
medical intuitive in a way.
yeah, yes, and I kind of hate to put that word to it because I want people
Yeah.
to know I'm not a doctor,
Yeah.
but my team and Eric helps me to pinpoint what is going on with you. I do healings, and I do that with my team of three. It's two males and a female. And they tell me where to go on you, what needs to be done. You don't have to tell me what's wrong with you. You can just put your intent there, or you can tell me. It doesn't matter, but they always know where to work. I always fascinated how I picked up a lot of anger on one woman in her ovary area,
Oh,
and she was in her 70s, and it's fascinating because I could still feel the anger in there because she had an abortion when she was
oh,
like early 20s,
wow.
and
Wow.
that still was in there and stuff. So and help removing that. And it's a lot of times people think something's wrong with them or they have attachments, and that's not what it is. It's just some of these energies that are within our cellular
Trapped
memory and that just really
trauma,
pull us down. Yeah.
trauma, trapped emotions, all that. So you
Yes.
in there, and what do you do? Do you like get sort of a holographic image of them, and then just like what send light to it? How do
Well,
you?
what I do is I hold normally their heads in my left and their feet are in my right, and their astrological body is there, and it's just lit up. And then my team tells me where to put the energy, and they put the energy in the colors, and then they will let me know what that is because I can feel it, whatever going on with them,
Wow.
and they'll let me know because I'll feel some pain or whatever, and they'll tell me this is anger from whatever, this is sadness, this is whatever, and they will also clear up things that you are ready to let go of, like from previous lifetimes that you brought in to be cleared. Sometimes people collect things when they go through their mother's womb
Mm.
to heal, and then I can feel that being released. And that's one of the things I do. And then I do mentoring, whether it be for you to dive into things deeper, or mentoring if you want to become a medium. And usually people who want to, it's because they're tapping into something.
Yeah, they already know they have.
Yeah, and we all have these
Yeah,
abilities. We all have these
some more than
abilities.
others, and some are more dedicated to strengthening those gifts, and some, I just want to wash the clothes and
Right, right.
put them up, and
Yeah, and that's okay. And then I do, and I want to say I did the Dolores Cannon, the QHHT. I still need, like I call them, my 25 top people because I had to put it on hold for a while. But if you live in my area, which is around Austin, Canyon Lake, New Bronzeville area, and are interested in doing a free session, um, because I need to get those 25 people to become
oh,
a practitioner. Yeah, I
oh,
won't do them. I won't do them over the internet because
no, no.
if we lose connection, I don't want to leave you
Oh yeah,
there.
that's what I understand. Yeah, wow. So what do people need to know for you to tap into that and be able to have their astral body to work on? Their name, the full legal name, I guess, address.
Just their name. Just their name.
Yeah. Okay.
Just their name. And I have something on my website where you do the emotional and energy clearing, and all you can tell me what you want, or you don't even have to tell me what you want. And you don't have to lay down. You don't have to be still. I think it works better.
Yeah.
But even if you don't feel the energy, doesn't mean it's not working. And usually the healing sessions last anywhere from 3 to 7 days, and they tell me how long it's going to last.
Wow, that's cool. All right. Anything else you want to add? Supreme leader of the universe. God.
No, that's it. That's it.
All right. Cool. I almost forgot. I was so fascinated by all this. I forgot what our topic was, but it is theta healing. That goes along the same lines. It makes sense. But I have no idea what it is. I will read the backstory that Paula has graciously provided. And all of these are questions from the community.
Okay.
Theta healing is the registered trademark for a method of meditation created by Viana Stibal, Stibal, in 1995. Theta healing claims to change a practitioner's brainwave pattern to the theta pattern, allowing them to explore how emotional energy affects our health and develop natural intuition. So the practitioner, the healer that's doing the theta healing, their brainwave pattern, I guess, changes to a theta pattern so that they can better explore the client's emotional energy, right?
Yes, yes. And when they're in that state, they're like freed from stuff. But also too, Erik is telling me they would need to help that client to get in there too, to get to that theta part so that they can relax and allow this to happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is theta healing more effective than Usui Reiki energy healing? USUIE. I'm sure you know about this, but I don't.
No, I haven't heard of that. Erik is telling me it's not that it's one is better than the other. It's whatever the person's gravitated to, because then that's what's going to work for them.
Oh, okay.
Because that's on that, and it may be that one that you're talking about was the Swedish one, or whatever you said it was.
Sweet. I'm going to look it up. So since we both don't know about it, go ahead though.
But he's saying that one can lead you to a deeper one, like the theta, because that is where it's almost like it's like the guard is let down, and now things are easily, it's like you're freed up from self, from ego, and that's when healing and changes can take place.
Yeah, the ego gets in the way.
Oh.
So yeah, Mikao Usui, father of the form of spiritual practice known as Reiki. So it's just Reiki, basically.
Reiki, okay. Japanese, he said. So yeah, and Reiki is very, Erik says Reiki is very powerful. And of course, it depends also too on the practitioner, like how much do they believe in what they do, in their own abilities. That also makes a difference. So, and Erik says these practitioners didn't just take a course, they had to work through their own stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
As they became the practitioner.
Yeah, I can imagine. Physician, heal thyself. All right. How does theta healing compare to other modalities such as crystal therapy, sound therapy, light therapy?
Well, when you're saying it, I get like there's different levels of it. Now, the crystal healing in that, that, of course, we get the energies from the crystals to help heal, because this is what they're there for. They were there for, to help us heal. But even though a person goes in for the crystal healing, they also have their humanness tapped in, and sometimes can't just let all that stuff go and say,
Yeah.
I'm here to let my body do what it needs to do, you know. And the sound healing is also very good. It's very powerful because Erik has shown me how the frequency helps to release things and to help things relax. It's very powerful. Now the theta, it's like you've worked through a lot of different layers, and now you're at a place where you are feeling you got to a place where you feel safe because you're allowed yourself to get to that level of relaxation, and then that's where basically he's showing me yourself is out of the way, and this is where someone can come in and start working with you and talking to you and start changing belief patterns, thought patterns, and stuff like that. And then that, the way he says, it's like that kind of soaks in, and so when you wake up from that, you can automatically feel a difference, and things start shifting and changing for you.
So are you saying, Erik, that it's a good idea to use other healing modalities first to sort of peel things away before you use the theta healing?
He says for some, but it's whatever you're attracted to. If you feel like, oh my God, I got to have this done, he says, then that's what you need to do.
Okay.
Yeah. Because he says you're ready for it.
Yeah. Is theta healing one of the best types of healing methodology?
Erik, the way he says it, he doesn't like to say it's one of the best because
he doesn't,
but it
like
is a very
more, better. Yeah, he doesn't like that. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he's, you know, it's the best for you if that's the route you're wanting to go.
Yeah.
And Reiki may be the best for me.
Okay.
And, you know, so it just depends on where you are. Erik does say, though, there has been profound experiences from the theta, you know, and even going deeper than that, because it's like, he said, that's where you've like knocked away all the, he says, bullshit, and you're able to then start doing the repair work that you want. And he says, and usually people who are at that place of doing the theta, getting that deep, they've already worked through so many layers, and now they're ready to get into some deep stuff.
Some deep shit, probably.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Do you have to? Can it be done remotely, or is it? It's like QHHT. It's best to do it in person.
He says you can do it remotely, but he's talking to me. He's saying he agrees with me. Remote, you know, you're taking a chance. So there are some practitioners who do it remotely, but you're taking a chance on something going on. But then again, he says this is where you have to, if you feel that this is 100% okay for you, then he says, then go for it. I know someone who does the hypnosis via Zoom, you know, from one country to another, and you know, and there has not been any glitches in that, you know. For me, I'm not there. I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Because I would hate to be in a state. But Erik says it's a lot of that's where you are, and then also too where the practitioner is.
Yeah, of course. So has theta healing ever cured cancer or other diseases?
Erik says yes, it can, because what it does is it gets in there and clears out the cobwebs, the stuff that's creating the clog of the flow within your body. So it will clear that out. So he says, absolutely, it has cleared out cancer, arthritis. It has cleared heart issues. A lot of things it has, you know, because it's taken away the main ingredient of what's causing it.
Yeah, which is trauma.
That's fascinating. Right. Yeah. And he says, when you clear that, then everything starts flowing downstream, as he says, and it gets into the cells and just starts, everything's just moving freely.
So
that's fascinating.
That is. How does trauma get stuck in the energy? What does that look like? If you were to see an energetic body and there's a trauma incident, where would you see that, Denise? And or Erik, you can join in too. What does it look like?
Well, for me, the anger, when I see it, it's like a sludge.
Oh yeah.
It's real sticky and it's like a sludge. And depending on how deep it is, sometimes it can really stink.
Ooh, really?
And I have thought to myself, if we really knew how nice it was, we wouldn't hang on to it
Mm.
because of the sludge and the smell of it. Um, and the Erik is he's telling me, like the fear, the trauma, the betrayal, and all of that. He says that is it's like it's not dark energy, but there's like a cloud in you that where it's just not clear. It's
Yeah.
dark, like a great cloud over certain areas of you, and you can see. And as he's saying this, I'm going, and I can feel that things aren't flowing as freely. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean you're blocked. It's just that things aren't flowing as freely. So
Like
instead
molasses.
of going
Flowing
like,
like molasses.
yeah, that's a good, yeah, I like that. Yes. And he said, so this is this is one way of how this is. Now other people may see it another way,
Yeah.
but for me, this is how I see it, and this is how Erik is showing me as well.
So what do people or how do they allow emotional trauma or any kind of trauma get stuck in an energetic body?
Erik says it's not that they really, it's, well, yes, of course we allow everything, but it's not that we like, okay, I'm going to let it stick there. It's like we have to compartmentalize things because we're not taught what to do with it. So we have to
Oh,
compartmentalize it so we can keep going forward.
yeah, we're told not to feel. God forbid if you should feel your grief or your sadness or your trauma. Oh no,
Yeah.
don't brush it under the rug. I think that's probably the main thing. Society has taught us to not feel. So if you don't feel the emotions, you're never going to get rid of them.
Yeah. And Erik is saying, or if you've been taught as a kid, not to share your sadness or
Yeah,
whatever. So you learn to compartmentalize it because
yeah,
you've learned early on not to do anything with it. And something has to be done with it because it's
yeah,
energy. You have to do something with it.
yeah. It's got to go someplace. Might as well be out of
Mm-hmm.
your energetic body. Okay. Is this good for using your brain cells more? Makes you more clever. So theta, can it raise my IQ? No, can it optimize our brain in any way?
Erik says, "Oh, definitely," because what happens is it's like it clears up the flow of everything, the energy, to where it's not everything's working at capacity
Yeah,
how it's supposed to, and it's so there's no traffic jams going up in there and stuff. You're not having to reroute. You're not having to think real hard because he says, just
yeah,
imagine like every time you get triggered because you see somebody that's I don't know. I knew someone who saw abandoned toys on the street that traumatized him, and because it brought back things for him, So when you're seeing that, it just you're not able to think clear because that traumatized you. So
yeah,
when you get all of that part worked out, then when you see it again, it's not interfering in here. Erik says it's like short circuit things, and
yeah.
you're having to reroute your thought process.
So when you want to have theta healing work on optimizing your brain cells, etc., does that healing have to be directed to the brain or just anywhere in the body?
Erik says when you're doing the theta healing, the practitioner knows and your body knows where to bring all of that energy
Okay.
because all of that will come up in the session. He says they will know where to direct it. And the way he's showing me, like they take notes of what it is you're coming in there for and stuff. And so that's part of the practitioner to be experienced and to know what they're doing with that.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Does this kind of healing work when you wish it for someone else? Great question.
So when you're doing, you're in that mode, the theta mode, and you're wishing for that healing for someone else. Erik says there's a small percentage, yes, but remember, there's a reason why there's that stuff in there. And some people just don't want to let go of that. They just don't.
It's become their constant companion.
And there's too much fear of letting go of it, because then what? And I mean, I know some people that were in my family that couldn't let go of stuff. And,
you know, and you define yourself in this case. It's like some people, they're used to having diabetes and they're sort of in this mode of victimhood, and they just have this comfort in remaining ill, this victimhood mentality, because that's for some all they know or most of what they know. So yeah,
that's true.
What are some of the instances, if any, where this theta healing modality is not a good fit?
Well, Erik says right away when somebody doesn't want it.
Yeah. Okay.
He said if somebody saying I'm here just because my wife sent me, my husband sent me, or my mother or sister or whatever, it's like it's not going to work for you. Erik says you have to be a willing participant, because the practitioner can't bring you to a level that you're not willing to go to.
Yeah, that makes sense. Does theta wave hypnosis help to bring our manifestation? In other words, can it help improve our powers to manifest whatever reality we want?
Erik says yes, because what happens is as we're clearing up the fog, so to speak, then we start realizing how powerful we really are, If we stop believing, we stop believing what we believed in forever, or what we were taught to believe. So he says, this definitely can help. Does it mean everybody's going to win the lottery? No. But he's saying, though, but the things that you are wanting, this clears you up to where you can start focusing in the direction to go get it.
Makes sense. Awesome. Can theta healing help erase or suppress memories of people or painful life events we don't want to relive or keep thinking about or remember in general?
Can it suppress, did you say?
No, can it help erase or suppress?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because as you're saying that, Erik is saying what it does is it brings that up, but it's almost like as it brings things, and it's because you're ready. It's not, someone fresh off the train that just found out that they were abused and hasn't done any work with it. This wouldn't work. But but he said yes, because what happens is when you're at that point, you've done a lot of the homework, and now it's bringing you to a place, he says, to where it's almost like you get the true story of it behind of what's going on. So it takes a lot of the fear out, and he says it's just a very clear understanding of the why. And then you no longer feel like the victim, and you no longer feel like this was happening to you, and you get to see more. Does that mean you're going to go, oh, that was no big deal what you did, beating me up, hitting my head, or whatever you were doing? No, but it's like it erased, like it absorbed all the emotions that you had towards it, to where you're able to, I remember him or her, and that would be the end of it.
You don't have that emotional charge so heavy.
Right. And you're not having to And Erik says, and that's the forgiveness part, is when you've released the
Yeah.
emotional attachment. And this is what that theta can do, is help you to, it's like pull that apart. And so you can get a better understanding of it.
I'm wondering if people just made the shift in perspective of, it's not happening to me, it's happening for me, because these human experiences are so valuable. But anyway, that's just my 2 cents. All right.
Yeah, that's easy. That's easy when it's not really big,
Yeah.
or when you're not through it. But Erik says sometimes it really does feel like it's happening to you. But when you use that word, though, that phrase, that's when you given away your power and you fall into the victimhood.
Oh, yeah. Of course. Easy to do. I've been there myself.
Mm-hmm.
Is the theta healing technique a good starting point to help gain better clarity with your intuition and abilities?
He said yes. It is.
What can it not
So
accomplish? Gosh.
So when you go in there, it's going to bring things up for you to release and let go.
Yeah.
And as you release and let go, this is how you get more in touch with your inner self, with the richness that's within you.
Yeah.
And and as you get in touch with that more, you get to start seeing more of who you really are, which is more than just this body.
Okay. Interesting. Do I or anybody in my family, do you think, needs this, Erik? In your immediate family?
He laughs. He goes, everybody needs it, but it's a matter of, is everybody needing it right now? And he says, so do you need to have this done right now? He says, no, not if you don't think you do. He says, the work you do
Well,
really
I don't
brings up.
know. Okay,
He
yeah.
said the work you do also brings things up for you, where you're healing the energy and stuff. So, and because you do that work in your home, so to speak, on the same property, that goes out and your family gets that
Oh, good.
healing work done as well. It's not just that one person or second two people or whatever. So does someone in your family need to have that work done? And Erik says, no. It's like, if you need to have it done, then you will have a thought, maybe this might be good for me.
Yeah. All right, that's all the questions I had. Denise, do you want to ask anything? Erik, do you want to add anything?
Erik says when you go and have this work done, and I agree with him 1,000%, you have to trust the practitioner you're going to.
Yeah.
And feel good. And Erik says, read their credentials. And he says, and I don't even know how much it costs to take one of those courses, but Erik was telling me earlier, this is why it's not $50 to take this course to be a practitioner, because the people who are really wanting to do this work and help, they will find ways to get the money to help them to do it.
Yeah. Makes sense. All right, you guys, please hit the like button, because now I understand, because I saw on somebody else's YouTube, that it really helps the algorithm. So
yes,
expose this channel to more viewers, potential viewers, and please hit the subscribe button for Atlantic Scalar, but especially for Failing Erik. And you guys check out Denise at deniseramon.com. Bye, Denise. Bye, Erik. I love you both, and I love you all.
Erik says he loves you. He goes, I love you, Mama.
Oh, baby.
Okay.
See you later.
Right. Take care. Bye.
Bye.